Hey y'all, it's Whit with another Slater session. Today we wanted to talk about something that has come up a few times, and that is around just kind of like what approach to take if you're a Webflow developer and you're looking to get better at your JavaScript. So we'll talk through that a little bit this morning. The first thing really is to kind of understand your goals. So are you doing this to augment your Webflow development, or do you want to be a JavaScript developer? And those two different approaches will have very different paths, but I think most of us are coming at it from, we have a specific problem we're trying to solve in Webflow. We're running it up against a limitation, or we're wanting to customize it a little bit more. And so we want to understand JavaScript, but we really want to understand it in the context of Webflow. But determining which way you want to go is going to really help you kind of figure out your approach. If you want to be primarily a JavaScript developer, you can dig into some of the frameworks. These are things like React, Vue. JavaScript development's kind of difficult because there's a lot of breadth and depth within the field. AI has generally made it more approachable, but it's a lot to kind of get your head around, particularly if you're coming in cold. But again, it's very, AI's made this easier to kind of navigate. It's very fun once you get into it. You can kind of see how you can manipulate elements on the DOM, and it's just kind of, again, depends on what you want to do. If you want to primarily be a Webflow developer that can solve problems with JavaScript, you can learn basic JavaScript, vanilla JavaScript stuff. jQuery is something that Webflow supports, and that's a good way to go as well. It makes some of the syntax a little bit faster to understand and grab elements so you can manipulate them. Now, if you want to learn about the document object model, or the DOM, and how you interact with the DOM, there's a ton of resources for that. You can use the Mozilla docs, you can use W3 Schools, Stack Overflow. Google is good for that. You can also use Slater just in chatting with the bot and kind of getting it to help you understand what you're trying to do and how you can manipulate the individual elements on there. And the other thing that you can do that Slater is really great for helping with is kind of working with third-party libraries that solve these specific problems. So that could be things like sliders. If you wanted to do things like staggered animations using libraries like GSAP. I've actually used Three.js via Slater with some success. And, again, it just kind of depends on the problem you want to solve. But, using a couple of different sources, being W3 Schools, Mozilla Docs, Slater, Chat, any of that kind of stuff, ChatGPT, like all of that's great for kind of getting your head around it. So what it really comes back down to is what you're trying to do. And I think if it's, if you're coming at it again, like you want to approach it as a Webflow developer who can work in JavaScript, then you're really going to want to kind of focus on vanilla JavaScript and jQuery, things like that that work with Webflow really intuitively and relatively easily. But if you want to go, towards more of a pure JavaScript development route, you're going to want to look at things like React, Vue. That list goes on and on. We could do a whole video just about that. But hopefully it's a little bit of information. I'm going to add some links here at the end of the video to get you started. And as always, jump in Slack if there's anything we can help with, and we'll see you out there.